Hi, it's Norman Kochnick here for Eyes on Cricket. Just giving you an update on a whole raft of things which are going on in India, of course. We know full well there's been a lot of COVID-19 issues. It's becoming a bit out of control as far as the effect it's had on the IPL, with teams such as, obviously, KKR, with the likes of Varun Chakravarti and the likes of Sandeep Warrior being tested positive for COVID-19. And a whole raft of the players have been quarantined separately. There's been discussion with who they made casual contact with, and the whole raft of activities around the KKR situation, including Pat Cummins from Australia, of course, a number of other players. I mean, on top of that, we also have the situation with CSK, with various staff and owners of the CSK network, actually, such as the likes of, and I've got the names here, Kazi Viswanathan, the bowling coach Lux Party Balaji, and a bus cleaner as well, all been brought down with positive results of COVID-19 tests. The reality is it certainly is pervading through the teams. As I said, KKR and CSK, and then the Delhi Capitals, the club style, they call the DCC, the DCCA. That association is a number of people also involved. Ground staff members have also been affected, which could impact the Delhi Capitals as well. So you've got KKR, you've got CSK and Delhi Capitals. It's starting to create a lot of waves. And based on all of these activities, clearly the BCCI is trying their level best to make this happen. And you've got to give them credit for trying. Admittedly, some other countries like Australia or even South Africa or England may have stopped the tournament right now, here and now, as it did the PSL in Pakistan. But the reality is this particular tournament it has a lot of merit in India, it has a lot of importance, and I applaud them for trying their best. So because of the developments of both KKR, CSK and Delhi Capitals, they're now moving to a situation where, probably overdue, where they should reduce the number of locations where they play, and they're centering on Mumbai specifically. The BCCI have been in contact with a number of hotels in in Mumbai, so as to have all the teams based there. There's also Pune as another example, but at least with Mumbai being the central location, there's a potential they could play under one full bubble in one location. So all the teams can move there probably during this week, heading into the weekend. Of course, that would mean a series of double headers that may move into the final date from May 30th into June. But if that actually does happen, that could then have a knock-on effect for the World Test Championship in England and the availability of players to make those date deadlines there as well, as they will be quarantined or have to move on accordingly. So it has a real knock-on effect into that tournament as well. So there's a lot of changes are going to occur. It's going to continue to occur for the next few days. It certainly is not. This is a point in time where movements are happening. But clearly the desire to actually go about this whole, amid these COVID-19 concerns, for the IPL may in fact shift entirely to Mumbai, which would be the greatest result that possibly could have, actually, because at least take a leaf out of Sydney. When they had the England-Australia series, the players went straight to Sydney, they were quarantined in Sydney, they were kept in Sydney, they played in Sydney, they didn't move anywhere, and eventually moved to Canberra, which was only a 3-hour trip by bus. But effectively they quarantined the matter to one location, and it went really, really well. Even though we're a very lucky country, we've got no COVID. You can see people behind me there. No one's actually wearing gloves or wearing masks, or social distancing is a lot less stringent here. People are going out, they're going to pubs, cafes, whatever. The fact is that we need to have that thought process for India now. It's not too late. Some are arguing that it is too late. It's becoming increasingly more difficult. Time constraints, double headers, a reduction of all sorts of things that come with it, and the effect, the knock-on effect of the World Test Championship in England is another major issue. So let's hope that we continue to play. I mean, there's been some great charity aspects to it. A number of the players giving money, a number of the clubs giving money. Australia certainly has been asked by Cricket Australia to help donate to India. We're all trying our best to help India greatly. A lot of the people here I talk to put out heartfelt messages regarding India, hoping all the loved ones of the world. There's some 9,000 expats, Australians/Indians, that are in India wanting to come to Australia. This stupid ban that we've got here at the moment, quite embarrassing, I believe, where we're not allowing people to come back in. We should be able to let them back in. They simply get quarantined like anyone else. Anyway, let's hope things get better. This is Norman Kochnick here for Eyes on Cricket. Stay tuned, I'll try to give you updates as we come along, but the latest is they're going to move to Mumbai, and I think that's a sensible next stage. The next week, though, will be disturbed. The game that was meant to be on last night wasn't. A lot of the Indian press were talking about the ramifications of this. The reality is that we have a lot to talk about and a lot more to discuss, so stay tuned.